because you were considering Germany at some point, and then you switched to Germany to US, and then ended up doing entire masters for free.
I don't even know a single person who want to do on-campus jobs, and he couldn't find it.
Because of that AMD internship, and that converted into like almost like a co-op for the last semester. So that plus 2 semesters wave off, and then you just had to pay
The
almost
first
all of that. Basically, you paid off your entire tuition fees, so you are graduating with debt free and
Yes.
obviously with some savings. What were some other universities, if you could go back in time and was like, oh, if I had time, I would apply to these universities?
Okay, if I want to proceed into that, I am not at this stage where I can jump into industry with this kind of knowledge. So in India, like all this semiconductor industry, they only do campus hiring for like base level. They do campus hiring from IITs and a few NITs.
To do masters, the first thing you have to decide is which country. In your case, you were thinking Germany first.
Yes.
What happened over there?
The education was free there, so I was pretty sure about which field I want to do. In US, from which university you come from does not matter as much as it matters in India. If you have the good background, if you have your all the basics clear, okay, you know this is where I want to go. I want to do electrical engineering in this field. I want to work in these companies. If you have this clarity, then I feel like I won't say the work is totally useless, but you can survive without it.
What were your biggest fear?
Leaving the country.
Thank you, Prathamesh, for doing this. This is round two. I know we talked in depth about electrical engineering and the career in electrical and all the fun stuff. So for people who don't know, should probably watch that video. But today we're gonna talk about Colorado State University, and how your journey began. How did you even landed up? Because you were considering Germany at some point, and then you switched to Germany to US, and then ended up doing entire masters for free, sort of.
Yes, it's
Yeah. So go ahead.
yeah. I just said the net was positive, so kind of free.
Yes, kind of free. So we're gonna explore all of that. But before we get started, and people have not watched our first video, can you do a quick intro? Who are you? When did you come to United States? What do you do now? And
Sure.
yeah.
So my name is Prathamesh. I'm from Maharashtra. I did my undergrad from Pune Institute of Computer Technology in electronics and telecommunication. I graduated that in 2022, and right after that, in fall 2022, I came to US for my masters. I completed my masters in electrical engineering from Colorado State University, Fort Collins, and currently I'm working as RTL design engineer at AMD San Jose.
Amazing. And again, just to remind people, we have done entirely deep session on how he got into AMD and the job hunting for RTL and all of it. So please watch that. Prathamesh, I want to start with profile, because I think a lot of people like to understand, like, okay, eh, they have a bias in their head when someone is successful, like, oh, it's because of that reason they have it. So I want to break some stereotype. One, did you have work experience before you came to United States?
It was just 2 internships, that too in a startup, but nothing full time work experience.
Okay. And then what was your, like, can you tell me your bachelor's GPA, and then did you give GRE TOEFL?
Sure. So my bachelor's GPA was we have like CGPA out of 10. So mine is 8.95 out of 10, which translates roughly around 3.6 in US's GPA format. And I did not give GRE. It was waived off. So, and I only gave IELTS, and I got 7.5 out of 9 in IELTS.
Nice. Okay. Um, and then at some point you were obviously studying and you decided that I need to do masters. I finished my bachelor's, I need to do masters.
Yeah.
What was the main reason behind this?
Okay, so as the college I come from, Pune Institute of Computer Technology, it has only three branches like computer, IT, and electronics.
Hmm.
And so, like all the people in electronics were like more of who didn't got comp and IT. They were in ENTC, like for namesake, they were doing the degrees, but everybody was studying for placements in computer science and doing all the lead code and all those things. But like I had electronics as my bifocal subject in my 11th 12th standard. So in Maharashtra board we have like physics, chemistry, maths, and one more subject that was
Hmm.
electronics.
Yep.
And my teacher was really good. He used to explain everything. So I started liking electronics since 11th standard, did that, and I landed in PhD with the electronics. So I wanted to continue in this part. I didn't want to do the stereotypical path of like, okay, I am in electronics. I'll study all the data structures, object-oriented programming, and I'll sit for the
Placements.
placement and go through that. Because my university till now they don't have a single electronics based placement. All the companies just came, they just hire for the CS background and like basically software, multiple roles under the software development umbrella. So I wanted to do work in like hardcore like electronics basically. And
Mm.
when I started researching about it, we talked with few seniors and everything. So in India, like all this semiconductor industry, they only do campus hiring for like base level. They do campus hiring from IITs and a few NITs. So okay, like there was one chance of getting off campus, but I felt that was very narrow outcomes from that chance. And also I felt the curriculum of my undergrad, that was like, okay, they just introduced us with various aspects of electronics. Oh, I like this aspect more. I did my internship in that. So I thought, okay, if I want to proceed into that, I am not at this stage where I can jump into industry with this kind of knowledge. So since my second year, I decided, okay, I want to do this. Let me go with the master's path. And
Mm.
so that's when I decided that I have to go for master's for this particular reason.
Amazing. And so now, again, I'm bringing you back timeline wise. You are like, okay, I want to do masters. The first thing you have to decide is which country. In your case, you were thinking Germany first, and then you are like, okay, maybe might as well just choose US as well.
Yes.
What happened over there?
Okay. So I talked with few alumni of my undergrad college, and a few of them were from in Germany. And I happened to talk with them more, and they convinced me more towards Germany, like, oh, the European lifestyle, and they did like the drawbacks of American lifestyle, like you have like higher healthcare things and everything. So kind of I got attracted toward that thing more. And so I started, okay, I'll go, and the education was free there, so that was also a factor in Germany. So I started looking for that, but somewhere there's like a lot of people like saying that if you want to like, so Silicon Valley is like the heart of the whole tech industry where I want to be. So I should not ignore US as much I was doing initially. That's what I felt. And another thing, the like Germany, the deadlines for Germany applications were quite like late. Like all the deadlines end in around April to May for the false,
Mm, mm.
compared to US where we mostly like January, February is the way. So I thought, okay, I am applying for this. Side by side, I started looking for a few US universities as well. And still the preference one was Germany, but I kept the preference two as US, and that's how I landed later on.
Got it. Okay. So again, assuming in this case, you applied to Germany university and you also applied to US university. Um, how, like, walk me through this, the research process. Like, how did you come up with like, this is the master's program and this are the universities I'm going to choose?
Okay. So I was pretty sure about which field I want to do in electrical engineering specifically. At that time, I was looking for a mix of silicon design and embedded systems
Mm,
courses. So I used to go to those universities' course pages, and they used to have like all the courseworks for that particular master's degree. So that was like one thing. Mostly, I used to do like there were like a lot of websites going through like top 10 universities in this, universities in that. So I was just creating my own list, like combining all those websites and something like that, and both for like US and Germany. And that's when I shortlisted few universities. So for US, as I said, I was like going a little laid back with the whole process because of the later on deadlines. So I made a list of around 10 universities in for US, and by the time I was applying, like most of them had their deadlines already gone. They were like early December or like mid December. So I narrowed down. There were like only two universities left where I could apply in US. So I came up with those two universities in US and few in the Germany. That's when I applied to all these universities.
What? Which one were those?
For in US, it was Colorado State University and Clemson University, North Carolina.
Okay. Any particular reason that you liked them over the others, or is it purely like, okay, these are the ones which I can still meet the deadline, and that's why I need to apply to them?
Yeah, so amongst my list, these were the only two. Like I made my own list, and in
Okay.
that list, when I sorted with my deadlines, like these were the only two deadlines which were achievable. So I thought, okay, I'll just go with these two.
Can, just out of curiosity, and maybe this will help others as well who are in their process,
Mhm.
what were some other universities, if you could go back in time and was like, oh, if I had time, I would apply to these universities because of my research?
North Carolina State University was one of them.
Hmm.
Then Portland State University. Uh,
Interesting. Okay.
then
Oregon.
yeah, Oregon. Then UIUC, Urbana
Hmm.
Shine, and along with that, CU Boulder. Yeah,
Hmm.
these were the few, but they all like all of them had the deadlines earlier, and few of them still required GRE, and I was not planning to give GRE because of the whole time constraint thing.
Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah, like with all the filters, these were the only two options I had.
And did you get admit?
Yeah, I got admit from both of them.
Nice. Okay. So now you got the admit from both of them. How did you decide which one to go?
Okay, so as I said, it was like I didn't got the admits from German university, so that was kind of a setback. And this was like a preference two, so already moved from preference one to preference two, so that was slightly a thing. So I had like choices to like wait for one more semester, like one more year, and then reapply and do all these things again, or choose from these two universities. So, but when I talked with the few, so I through LinkedIn, found few of my undergrad alumni who went to these universities. So when I talked with them and told me my situation, they told it's like in US the like from which university you come from does not matter as much as it matters in India. Like where in
Hmm.
India, if you come from IITO, you are like top tier, like all the
Hmm.
companies will be ready for you. In US, it does not matter that much, like that level, what it used
Unless you are from Harvard and
that's
Stanford and
like
all of that. But
heavily.
yes, yes, yeah.
Yes. So I thought, okay, I'll just go with these things. It does not make sense to waste one more year or like 6 more months and do the whole thing again. So among these two, first thing was Colorado State University. It was a state university.
Mm,
So I know like it has perks and more on-campus job, more funding. So more TN RA positions are here.
mm,
Plus, like when I talked with the few of my seniors from both the things, I got a little more positive feedbacks towards Colorado State University than Clemson. So that's why I went ahead with this one.
got it. Okay. Um, and I know we're gonna talk a little bit more about cost and everything, but before we get to that part, I wanna like pause and talk about research. How, like, now that you have done this whole journey, and I think one of the biggest gap I see with the students who are planning to come to United States is they don't do enough research, and they rely a lot on agencies and consultancies. um, how much importance did it, like, do you think you would pay now, like, because, like, okay, it is very important because of XYZ reason?
Okay, so now when I went through the whole process, I feel that is one of the most important thing, and you have to keep focus on it. Okay, like these consultancy and agency people will tell you like list of 10, 15 universities, apply for this, blah blah blah. But I feel you should know what you are looking for in your master's degree. Like, okay, if like two different universities are applying for okay masters in electrical engineering, and you just if your consultancy says these two, you just apply for these two. But it's your responsibility. Okay, among this whole big umbrella, okay, I want to focus on chip designing. So which university has more courses in that? Which university has like the faculties which are more into that? And I feel at this point, LinkedIn is more than sufficient to find all the required information you want. And like you should see where you fit in, or like which university is going to help you the most and in terms of ROI, like if you are investing, it's a big sum
Hmm.
for masters. So if you're investing, I feel you should think in all the aspects and do your own research, because it's not a like a fit for all things.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I
I
mean,
think
that's how consultancies are approaching fit for all. Like you
yes,
are this, you fit under this profile. Here are the 10 universities, apply. But
yes,
US is such a big market, and there's so many customized plans and coursework available. So you need to know, come with a full clarity, where do you want to go, and then you can, choose a university.
definitely.
I
Like
know in last video, I made you do some ad hoc things, and I'm gonna make you do some more in this video as well, since you are not prepared at all. Because, of course, I like to trouble you. Um, let's do this exercise. So I am someone who's interested in electrical engineer, just like you, and I'm like, okay, I did my a bachelor's, and I am in my third year, in in my first semester of, sorry, fourth year, first semester. So I've like second semester left, and I am starting to think about masters, because I'm like, okay, I need to come. Question number one is, do you feel now, based on the current job market, because you're also working and you've done the whole job market, should I pause and take work experience before I come, or should I just come? Or
mm,
even before that, should I do something else? Like, where should I start? Like, that's where I'm.
so I feel okay, I'll go one by one. So about the work question. So I feel
And feel free to treat this as, I'm your younger brother or younger cousin and asking you all these questions. So you have questions, just ask me that question as well.
okay, first of all, okay, your first thought is you want to come to US for your masters.
Hmm.
What I would first ask, what is your thought? Why you want to come to US? Is it just because the American lifestyle, or is it just because like it's nowadays like cool to come to US? So do you want to just come for that factor?
I
So
want to make money. First of all, is that I think I want to make money, and I want to work in like either Nvidia, Intel, AMD, Qualcomm. Like these are my dream companies, and I know like in India it's gonna be extremely hard versus USA. So that's why I feel like that's where I can survive. I mean, thrive.
yeah, fair enough. So if you have the background, good background, if you have your all the basics clear, okay, you know, okay, this is where I want to go. I want to do electrical engineering in this field. I want to work in these companies. If you have this clarity, then WorkX, I feel like I won't say the WorkX is totally useless, but you can survive without it.
Hmm.
It's I this is my personal feeling that
But
because
I have
this
not done so far in this 3 year. I did not even touch any coding. I have no idea. I was just, skimming through all the semesters and barely making it. I was like, just surviving.
okay, if that's the case, like you're at zero at this point, so might as well just either it can be WorkX, or like there is some courses. So when you come to, so the end goal is when you come to US, at least you should know what you're gonna do that thing better. Like you should have the idea of what is this field into, what that field does, how the things work, even in hindsight, like in at the top level, if you should know like how these things work, where I want to be, a rough idea of these things. Like it's not gonna be like once you land in US you're gonna figure out everything from scratch.
Hmm.
You have to have a better idea. So that better idea might come from WorkX, or like doing some internship or some courses like that. So it's not specifically WorkX, but you should know something regarding that industry. You should know how that industry
Got
works.
it. Okay. I like at this point, call drop, and I was like, okay, Prathamesh Bhaiya has told me all these things. I am going to work 6 months later. I'm ready. Like I feel like now my basics are ready. I have like I've worked day and night. Now I'm back in the game of like, okay, now my ultimate goal is to figure out which university. So now, what should be my first step? Like, how do I know which universities are good?
Okay, so now you finalize on in which area you want to do your masters. So after that, I will just do the first step would be to just to Google like top universities in this thing. You'll find bunch of different websites and like different articles. Oh, these top five universities in this thing. So I'll make a list of all the universities. Like every name I hear, I'll just add it to that university.
Hmm.
And the list won't be more than like 20 to 25 universities at this point, or maybe 50, like 50 max.
50 यूनिवर्सिटी हाँ स्प्रेडशीट बनाया 50 यूनिवर्सिटी एंड लिंक ऑफ मास्टर्स इन इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग सबका लिंक डाल दिया I have this but then I will say like अरे but that's too much like can I just not go to consultancy and just ask them.
Again, what we talked initially, why like with the consultancy, the issue is they will try to it won't be curated for you. It's like a fit for all. So you
Hmm.
have to see where you want. So whatever work X, that's when you did your homework, right? When you worked hard for past 6 months, you at least have a bottom line. Okay, I want to roughly do this. These are some courseworks which where I feel, oh, these are something which interests me, or this is something where I want to do with. So other consultancy is also telling you these five universities or these 10 universities. So it might not be like, even if the umbrella says masters in electrical engineering, it might be a total it's a might be a power electronics thing, or it
Hmm.
might be a totally different thing than what you want to do. So you have to think what you want rather than just having. You can have the consultancy as like a backup, even
Cool,
if you
cool.
don't have
Okay,
even that
okay.
resource.
So got it. You convinced me. Now 50 universities. I'm so my job at this point, my homework in this case is go to every single university's website and look at the coursework. Try to understand what this coursework is actually teaching, and do I really want that? Is that
Yes,
true?
yes, that's true. So I feel this would be like the first filter.
Hmm.
So let's say out of this 50, I came down to 20.
Hmm.
In 20, so now I'm still in the research phase, so I will just make one LinkedIn cold message. Oh, I am this, I'm planning to apply. I would like to connect with you regarding my doubts. And the good thing is, I feel the Indian student community who is based in US, they are pretty helpful with the whatever
Hmm.
whoever people in India
Hmm.
wants to reach out. So
Hmm.
I will do like, if I do like five student per university as well, it will hardly take me 3 4 hours, and there's very high responsibility, high chance that you will
People
get
will
the
respond.
cash out.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, and then I'll talk with I'll make one questionnaire. Acha, like how are they on campus job situation?
Hmm.
Uh, would you recommend this coursework? Did you apply for any other good university, and did you like once and now you went through this whole process, will you still prefer this one? Will you suggest me to do this? And like taking them as a kind of a mentor, I will again narrow down that 20 list to 10, and I'll apply for these. And then I'll put some of my, then like I'll add the other factors like,
Like
okay,
cost.
cost wise, yes, on campus jobs, cost, these would be like the next factors. And based on that, I'll make one my hierarchy. Okay, this is my preference to till preference. And then
Like
make
safe, moderate, ambitious
exactly,
list.
yes, make this tier list.
Got it. Okay, nice. So now I have this. I will work on all of this. I will have my list and finally make a decision. Colorado State University is where I'm gonna go because it meets all of my criteria, and that's where I feel like I'll go.
Mhm.
Back to normal podcast session. Thank you for playing around with me. Um, how was the visa interview?
Okay,
For
visa
F1
industry.
visa interview.
Yeah. So it was like a different experience because like I had it in my Mumbai consulate,
Hmm.
and like you have the lines from the start of that till you get there, and there was a guy in front of me in the line, and we like he was coming for MBA. We were talking throughout, and like literally, I was sitting in that the final thing, and I saw his visa got rejected. So that was like a very scary experience. Like the
Mm.
guy with whom I was talking for like past half an hour, 40 minutes. So yeah, I was already shivering, and like you can see, if your visa is accepted, they'll just keep your passport, and if not, you can see while leaving they'll have their passport in the hand.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was very scary thing, even
Mm,
before approaching the interviewer. But yeah, thankfully the interviewer, he just asked all the basic questions. Asked me, these only questions were, why you only applied for these two universities in US.
mm,
So I can't tell that, oh, I had different preference, and I thought these were the only two universities I knew. Sure shot, I'm gonna get into these things. So I didn't thought that like paying the application fee and doing the hustle for other universities won't make sense. So I knew, I was pretty sure about these two universities. That's why I went with these two. That was
amazing.
this
That's a
point.
good answer. Yeah.
Yeah. Then again, the next follow-up question was, okay, you got admit for these two. Why you chose this one over Clemson University? So I did a little bit of my homework regarding that. So I told, I had my resume with me as well, and I was like, see, these are the projects which I have worked upon in throughout my undergrad and my internship. And when I talked with the professor, so the head of department in Colorado State University, that is Professor Pasricha. Like when I talked with Professor Pasricha, he like the coursework and things align more with my profile. So
Mm,
that's why, with his guidance, I wanted to go with this
mm,
university. That
mm.
was my answer. So I feel if you have the visa interview, do a little bit like know who's your professor is gonna be. So that thing, and then like all the normal questions, what's gonna be the sponsorship and everything, like just the basic ones, and I got accepted.
Nice. Were you excited?
Yeah, once I got the visa, it was like I would say mixed bag of feelings. I was excited plus scared.
Mm. Why? What were your biggest fear?
Uh, Leaving the country, going away. Like I knew, like at the time, I was more ambitious that okay, I'll get internship and all. Okay, so I'm leaving in August. I know till next December I'm not gonna meet my family. That would be like the biggest time away from the family. All the
Mm,
festivals, like in between, I won't be at home. So that was a scary thing, and like I was 21 years old back then, so leaving everything behind, starting the whole thing from scratch, where
mm,
you don't know anything, like literally all the things are unknown, you have to go figure it out on your own. That was a bit scary, but yeah, everything worked out. And on the other hand, there was excitement as well to start all the things from zero.
yeah.
And this is what I wanted to do since like from second year I was planning masters. So I feel that it was like mixed bag of excitement plus.
Mm. Nice. Okay, great. Visa done. Let's quickly talk about cost before we, because I think cost is going to help understand, set the context for next conversation. What is the, again, I know you studied for free, but if you did not study for free, what would be the cost or tuition fees?
Tuition, the cost on I-20 was around $48,000.
Hmm.
48,800 yearly, and it would be something like that till like so it would be slightly less than that. So I know like the other people who did somewhere in between 40 to $45,000, just the tuition
For
fees.
entire masters.
Yeah, for the entire masters for 32
Masters is
credits.
2 years.
Yeah, 1.5 or 2, up to you. Yeah, 32
Oh, okay, up
credits.
to you. Okay, got it. 30 credits.
32.
32 credits. Okay,
Yes.
got it. And then what is the cost of living?
Sorry.
Cost of living.
Cost of living, so that's I feel a very big point in city like Fort Collins. It was like a college town,
Okay.
and because of that, like in my first semester, I lived in a apartment
Mm,
outside, and that used to cost me $600 for my private room, and utilities would be 50, and the groceries less than 200. So my whole month expenditure was less than 800-900 per month.
mm, mm.
So that, and after that, like from my second semester, I moved to university housing, which was even cheaper. I had my private
Oh,
room fully furnished, and with all the utilities, including Wi-Fi, I was paying around 500 per month.
wait,
That's
I thought university housing is typically costlier than
no
off campus,
dorms.
not dorms.
Yeah,
Okay.
dorms were different. So they had like a university housing kind of thing that was only for masters and PhD student,
Okay.
and it was like individual. houses of like kind of, it was like two-story houses with
Mm.
two-bedroom or a three-bedroom layout, and you just have to apply it through the university website. And if you get picked up into that, like it was like a lucky draw thing. If you get picked up into that, you will get into that, and that was actually cheaper than the outside things.
And my guess is in the second one, you don't have to pick your roommate because you only get you randomly get assigned the roommate. Okay.
Yes.
You get a say of who do you want to be your
No, like there were few things if you are like living with your relative or something like that where you can ask for that,
okay.
and that's why I got into that. And like for me, it happened like I got it through a sublease. So one guy already leased it, and then he left the university, and then I like replaced him, and I got my name on the lease after that.
Mm.
So it
Got
was
it.
like, yeah,
Nice. Okay. So if you are not a part of university housing, then typically $900 or so.
yeah,
Maybe right now it's around $1,000, but
yeah,
that's obviously if you want your personal bedroom. But if you
yes.
are sharing, that can go even lower.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
1,000 including like all the utilities and everything, like
Yeah. Yeah.
grocery,
Correct.
this whole living expense.
Yes, and then with the university housing, it's slightly cheaper.
Yeah.
Interesting question is, so how does San Jose feel?
that was that was the cultural shock after moving to San Jose. Like paying from 500 to a private room. I moved to San Jose when I was interning back in summer,
Okay.
and paying 500 for a private room to paying 950 for a shared room. That was a big difference. So yeah,
Yeah, I know, I know.
now I'm
I,
leaving San Jose. Whenever I'll move, it would be a cheaper because I came to already the most expensive area.
yes, yes. Yeah,
Okay.
hopefully, I mean, hopefully, you are in Bay Area, and I know I still have to make a visit. So hopefully, I can still meet you before you move. Hopefully, it's not long. Cool. Okay. So cost of living roughly $1,000 for if did you do your masters in a year and a half?
No, I did it for 2 years.
2 years. Okay. And so
Like,
I'm just go
but
ahead.
actually, in the last semester, I was interning fully. So technically, I did it in 4 semester, but I lived in Fort Collins for 3 semester.
Okay, got it. So I would say like roughly, I mean, I was just calculating. I did an average of $700 for 16 months because last semester you were gone. So like looks like $12,000,
Yeah.
and then 40 to 45,000 you said is that. So roughly 50 to $60,000
Yes.
if someone had no on-campus job and other things. But in your case you do have it, so let's talk about that. How did you get from Pune to Colorado State University?
So you mean like
Flight wise, yeah.
yeah. So I went through Etihad Airlines. So I had like Mumbai to I went from Mumbai airport to Mumbai to Abu Dhabi to JFK New York, and New York to Denver. And
Okay,
then
so
we had shuttles
port of entry was Abu Dhabi or JFK?
to Abu Dhabi.
I know because they do it over there before.
Yeah, they used to do that. Like I came recently from India. Now they moved it back to US. Abu Dhabi one is no longer in work.
Okay, got it. What was your first port of entry? Like anything crazy or?
No, it was quite chill. I felt the immigration officer, like he was very friendly.
Mm,
He was like, "Why you wanna leave your beautiful country to come to this?" And he was just making some jokes here and there, and yeah, it was pretty friendly. He just asked, "You're not doing taking any illegal stuff, right?" I was like, "No, no, it's just I'm a student." He was a friendly guy, so nothing crazy. That was a big sigh of relief, I will.
nice. Okay, cool. Denver, so Denver is another airport that is the final airport that you land. Um, how do you get from Denver to the city that you mentioned? What's the city called?
Fort Collins.
Fort Collins.
Yeah.
Like, how do you get there?
So there was a transport service called Groom. So my roommates were already reached there. So I talked with them, and like thankfully the ISC community for Colorado State University, it was very helpful, and they already created documents of what to carry, and how to book the groom even before when you're in India. So
Mm,
groom was the transport shuttle service which used to take you from the Denver International Airport to the Fort Collins to your address. So I used that service.
mm, got it. Okay. So you would recommend people to do it all of it before coming to United States?
Yes, it's you should be prepared. I feel to everything.
Yeah. And I'm assuming you also booked your housing before coming,
Yes, yeah. We I again found the the people from the ISA group, uh,
the
and
WhatsApp group. Yeah.
yeah, the WhatsApp group. Then we or four of us were together. So we went through the listing websites of like Zillow and Apartments.com, and we were still trying. We applied for the university housing also, but none of us got the university housing. So then we start. This was our backup plan, and the apartments were ready. So we just had to sign the lease and everything while we were in India.
Nice. Uh, Now let's talk about on-campus job because I know everyone is like, how did he get free? Like, so before you answer that, uh, on-campus job, are there on-campus jobs in Colorado State University?
Yes, I feel like Colorado State University is the university with like I don't even know a single person who want to do on-campus jobs and he couldn't find it.
Hmm.
It's like see my friends from other universities they were like we couldn't get the on-campus. That's not at all the case with Colorado. There are like plenty of on-campus jobs. Like I started applying after going there,
Okay.
and so like in one day I applied for like around 10, and next day morning I got like around 5 callbacks from them, and within a couple of days I joined that. So it's like a you have bunch of jobs, and like everybody will get a job. Like it's not
How big is the batch? Like, is there a big Indian population?
yeah, it's a huge Indian population.
Okay. And then how big was your batch?
So mine was I would say around 45, 45 to 50.
And you're talking 45 to 50 electrical, right?
Just
Not
electric.
overall, like the year you went, that time probably was what, like maybe 300, 400, 500, maybe?
I wouldn't say like the electrical was like one of the biggest. So I feel including everything would be 200 to 250 max, not more than that. Electrical would be easily like 20 to 25% of the whole lot.
Obviously, and most people probably go for computer science, is
Yes.
my guess. So, okay, cool. And you're saying even though it was the biggest batch, still you got 5 interview callbacks.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Now let's talk about how did it happen that you got it for free?
Okay. So actually, I for the first semester it wasn't free. For first semester I paid.
Mm,
I got free from the second semester.
mm,
So first semester I was working on campus in a dining hall
mm,
throughout the first semester, and then in the middle of the semester, like because like I started applying for TAs and RAs in the middle of the semester. I started so the university again. Good thing is they have like a meetups with your professor, like meet you. That is done by the Graduate Student Association. Like
mm,
they created like a meetup kind of thing for the graduate like professors. There'll be a room with all the professors on your desk. You can go ask them, like have a chit chat with them, talk about their coursework and everything. So I started applying for TAs and RAs in the middle of the semester, and I got it from for my second semester.
okay. And again, if you were to break it down, so obviously first semester dining hall, what was that? What is the typical pay range for that?
Okay, so when we started, it was $13.5 per hour.
Mm.
But in the middle of the semester, like 1 month into the semester, they bumped it from 13.5 to 15, and still till now it's 15. They just bumped it.
Oh,
Yeah.
15. Okay, nice. And so that's like roughly $1,200. So I'm assuming that would cover your cost of living.
That was totally covering everything. Like didn't had to like there was always surplus with
Yeah,
that.
you didn't have to call your mom or dad as like, hey, paisa bhejo. Nice. Okay. Nice. Okay, cool. And so mid semester, you realize like, okay, I need to do something other than dining, which is obvious. I would highly recommend that. Dining is good experience, get something going, but that is not your end goal. So in your case, you obviously did it, and you said there was an event slash meetups organized by Graduate Student Association where you can meet your professors. uh,
Yes.
how did you target, like what was your strategy, like okay, I'm going to meet these professors and then pitch myself?
Okay, so then I went through the our course catalog for both undergrad and
Mm,
masters, and I saw what were the like professors will be there. So they already sent the panel who will be there. So
mm,
based on there were like few professors who were teaching like ECE 101 or 102, like basic freshman level courses, or like even mid like 200 and 200 level courses. So I know like I am pretty good at these courses because that's what we had throughout our undergrad. So I went to these professors and told, okay, this is my background, and I would love to be assist you as a TA for next semester. So they like mostly they'll be asking, oh, what is your background? Like, oh, how did you do this and do that? And most of them end up saying that, okay, mail me your resume, and we'll see. So we had like official like end of the semester, we got the mail from the coordinator saying that okay, TA positions is applied are open, and these are for like these all courses, so you can go and apply. So formally I've applied for them as well, and then I reached out to these all professors as well, whom were hiring through the department, so
mm.
that was the final decision would be theirs to hire. So I like went through the official path as well and reached out all the professors individually as well, and then I had a couple of interviews, and one of the professors, she liked my whole profile and everything, and yeah.
What subjects were you teaching?
So I was for the first the semester, that is like spring of 23, was teaching one subject called Introduction to Project Practices. It was like a it was more of a like tech plus business side of thing. Like what if it was a sophomore level course,
Mm.
and it was like if you become like a tech entrepreneur, how you gonna handle the things. So like throughout the 12-week semester, every week used to be like a one phase. Okay, now you are in design phase, so they didn't have to make anything but just plan for that. Oh,
Interesting. I thought you would be like doing something related to electrical. Yeah.
I did apply for that, but this is where I got, and I when I talked with the previous TA who got graduated, and thankfully it was like a small community, so I could reach out to them as well. I like among the offers, this was like the one which had like doesn't had that much, because this one didn't had any exams, so the workload
Oh,
was
good.
comparatively lesser for these courses than the other ones. So that's why I chose this.
No,
Like
but like that's your choice. But I'm also saying like it is also interesting that they also let they also picked you, like the professor picked you, even though you didn't come from like a business background or like a MBA background or something like that.
Of course, it was a course of EC department. It wasn't a course for any other department. It was
Okay.
a course, but with like one should with the technical knowledge. And I had kind of like I did small entrepreneur things during the lockdown, so I pitched that for that particular
Mm.
interview. So I think that thing which got clicked on, and they hired, and that's what like it would have been a MBA school or a school of business for sure. They would have hired someone from that school, but it was a ECE course, so that's why I think
Mm.
like,
So that
that's what.
was your second semester. What about third and fourth?
So third semester also I got the continuation of the
Same.
the
Okay.
same professor, and she added one more course actually,
Mm.
because for the third semester the number of students were very less, and that's why she was like, I can't give you the full TA position, so I'll add one more course, and combinedly I can give you a full TA. I was like, okay, even that works. And
Mm.
for the second semester, the second course was a senior design project for senior students, undergrad senior students,
Mm.
and it was like what we have back in India, where you have the final year
Final
projects.
project. Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So it was like final project, so assisting them with the final project. It was more that was also like it had a technical aspect if they have something breakdown or something in their circuit to help them with that. But it was more like again organizational, organize their fairs, tell these groups, like see the groups progress, how they are progressing, and make the note and give it to professor. All these things.
Mm. Okay. And then final semester?
Final semester I was interning throughout, and I had only
Like,
2 credits.
बहुत पैसे बना रहा हूँ, नहीं चाहिए मेरे को.
And again, like for TA, there was a thing that you should be enrolled for at least 5 credits to get a TA. Or
Hmm.
last semester, I only had like 2 credits left. So, anyways, I wasn't eligible for that.
Got it. You didn't even wanted it, so let's just be honest. Just kidding. Okay, cool. So, and if you work as a TA in Colorado State University, they waive off your tuition fees. Is that true?
Yeah, 100% tuition fee waiver.
And then also a health insurance?
Yes, health insurance as well.
Okay, cool. And then I'm assuming you also get stipend?
Yes, so that is not hourly. That you get like monthly fixed amount.
Hmm.
So for first semesters, it was 1950, one
Oh,
nine
wow.
hundred.
So then
Yes,
it definitely covers your cost of
yes.
living as well.
Exactly. And for second semester, as I was continuing as a TA, it was bump up again $100. So it was 2050.
Nice. Okay. Great. So obviously two semester fees you still had to pay.
Only one sem. Like okay, last semester were only 2 credits, so the fees were hardly like two and a half, 3K. So
At that time you were also making like $100,000. So for you it was like chiller. No. So again, for audience who don't know, you also had internship. Where did you do internship?
AMD, AMD side.
AMD. He had the AMD internship. Again, just go check out the video. We did it. So because of that AMD internship, and that converted into like almost like a co-op
Yes,
for the last semester. So that plus 2 semesters waive off, and then you just had to pay
the
almost
first.
all of
Yes,
that. Basically, you paid off your entire tuition fees, so you are graduating with debt free, and
yes,
obviously with some savings at this point. Yeah,
yes.
nice, with an offer, right?
Yeah, with enough.
Yeah. Nice, amazing. That must be such a great feeling.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Like I was proud that like I didn't have to bother my parents for that thing again.
Mm.
So yeah, that
Well,
was a
and you don't have a debt.
yeah. I don't have a debt as well. Yep.
Like $50,000 debt is like
Yeah,
gone. It's like you basically studied for free,
yeah.
so it's a great thing. I have few other question which I know people probably have this question, and if they have more, I'm sure they'll put it in the comment. Number one, how many students end up getting this TARA type of roles?
I feel it's in Colorado State University. It's the percentage is quite high. I feel in terms of, like easily per semester, like just I'm talking about masters in electrical engineering. Easily around 10 to 15 students get the TAs and RAs.
Hmm.
Like the batch.
When you say easy, I just want to be careful. It's for the people who are actually putting the effort.
Yes,
It's not gonna be given to them, correct?
it's not easy to get it. Just like yeah,
Yeah, but it is possible if you actually work hard and you do go to this event, because most people are like, who's going to go to that graduate student association event, who's going to go to the career fair, like nothing is going to happen, like my senior said, like nothing happens, so they don't go. But that is where the magic happens. And
yes.
obviously, were you told that don't go to the events because nothing is going to happen?
Thankfully, I did not. Like nobody told me don't go. So I was just figuring out everything.
Hmm.
Cause so I feel that was a good thing.
That's a good thing. Yeah. If you were told that don't go, nothing happens, you probably would listen to them. But
Yes,
I'm telling everybody, and I've said it multiple times, don't just blindly listen to seniors. Yes, they do know a little bit more than you, but they might be only speaking from their experience. You
yes.
probably want to do your own research.
Yes, I feel like, and the experience might be differ from like person to person. So might as well just go and knock every door. And, like you don't know which one is gonna help you. So
Hmm.
like for your own experience, try all the possible ways. That's what I feel.
Yeah. Now, second question. This is like the most common question, and I think also like a slightly most um, misunderstood how U.S. industry work. Um, Colorado State University, located in
Collins.
Fort Collins, which is a super small college town.
Yes.
It's not in a big city. It's not in Silicon Valley. So, does the location really matter? And did you have like a location disadvantage? And if so, how and how did you overcome it? Because you still ended up coming to Silicon Valley, even though you were there. So, and that too in the peak. recession. So yeah, like let's address this question.
Okay, so it's, I feel it's not that big of a question that like it would be a decision factor for you to select a college or not. Okay, if you have a Silicon Valley University like San Jose State University, if you, the only advantage you might have is, okay, there would be some career fairs or like more meetups where you can go, but that's it. Like there's nothing beyond that. Like, okay, I know I live right next to Google, it does not mean that I can directly go to Google to ask a job.
Yeah.
So I feel like the only advantage would be like, okay, there will be a little more like networking events or these things, but on the other hand you'll have those online as well. Okay,
Mm.
I agree. Number would be less, and like going offline makes a more impact than doing it online. But yeah, that's it. It's not like, if I feel it's like a tie. You can use it as a tiebreaker. Okay, I have these two universities. Okay, this has more tech companies near that. That's why I'll choose this. But it's not like a sole purpose. Okay, just because this university has these companies near that university, that I should go here.
Mm. Yeah. I'll add my thoughts on this as well. I think I've seen this multiple times happening. I mean, I've been doing this for like last 7 years. People who are in these high cities and like like very where the companies are all around them, they also have to get out of their apartment. They also have to go to these events. They also have to meet people.
Yes.
If you do not take advantage of any of this, then you're as simple as going to a college town. Like there's no point of you choosing this university. So first is that. Second, I would always choose something where I can be graduating debt free versus having a $50,000 debt.
Totally. Yes.
um, because the amount of freedom you will feel when you're like, going for job hunting is going to be next level. uh,
Yes.
and again, even if you are in a smaller town universities, I was in Purdue University. They bring Tesla, they bring Amazon Robotics, they bring Walmart. A lot of universities come there, plus they also take the students to different conferences, different career fairs. So also check like what is your university actually willing to do, and can you get out of it, can you go to conferences. Like why can't you go it.
Yes.
So there's like so many other factors other than just it has to be in a big city, but then you're not even taking advantage of that big city. So
I totally agree with you. Like I know few of my roommates' friend, they flew from Texas a couple of weeks back to attend a hackathon in Palo Alto, which was organized by Meta,
yeah,
and they made good connections over it, which is a good thing. Like so, now like they took a college in Texas, it does not mean that they got not allowed to come here or something like that.
exactly.
If there's such a big event, you might just take a trip here, but don't make that thing as the only purpose to select a university.
Yeah, 100%. Same like Chico State. Again, Chico State, I'm like 3 hours drive to you.
Yes.
People, uh, I'm like so angry sometimes at these students at Chico State. They're like, "Oh, it's 3 hours far." I'm like, "Yeah, there are students coming from like different states, flying 3 hours, taking 3 hour flights to go to these conferences. You can easily drive, and there's a 4 hour train for you, Amtrak train. Just freaking take that and just go to the events and meet people. Like you can do this. Don't give me excuses that no, we have." Like they want sympathy that oh our university doesn't do anything, there's no nothing. I was like no, that you can do it, you just don't want, you're not willing to go out of your comfort zone. Sorry, I can get like very passionate
I,
about.
I 100% agree with whatever you're saying. Like that's so true that if you wanna, it all comes down to you, how much efforts you are willing to take. It like if somebody is in a Bay Area, there's no like change in probability that oh you for sure get a job. Like compared to the guy who is sitting in Fort Collins, that oh you are in such a small town, you won't get a job at all.
Yeah,
Now we are living in 21st century, everything is online, so it does not make sense to
yeah,
just choose.
nice, yeah, yeah. Okay, internships, let's talk about that. Obviously you were in the peak of recession 2023 2024 when nobody was like, it was market was really bad. I mean it's improving, but not as bad as you were in. How many people ended up getting jobs? So you said like what, 25 to 30 people was your batch size.
Yeah.
Would you say like all of them had internship? Would you say some of them had internship?
Some of us had internship, I would say. The number was quite low. We were like hardly like 5 to 6 people who got internship out of that.
What's the differentiator?
I feel again like trying, not giving up. Like I could see the people as you say exactly the same thing. Like going to career fair. Oh, they don't hire from career fair. Oh, they just say apply from the
Mm,
website. Anyways, you go to career fair. Might as well not go to the career fair.
mm,
But yeah, I feel like keep trying every possible way as you can. Don't give up. Oh, the market is bad. Like I remember talking to a few people. They were like, "Oh, I applied for 15 companies at this point. I still didn't get a reply." Because like you should not do this. Like 15 is not like you should do that every day. And
1500 must be like a different story.
yes. So I feel just keep trying is the only thing. Like keep knocking every door, do cold email, keep applying, keep like trying these like career fairs. There might be. So I remember there was like I attended one in CU Boulder as well. There was
Mm,
like a not by university, but I forgot the organization. So they had like another career fair kind of thing. It was like a more of a networking event, and like the Boulder was like around 1 hour drive from my place, and I went and attended it. So I feel don't miss any opportunity. If
mm,
there's an opportunity, go try it. If no matter like you don't know which would be a hit, so try every possible way in your master's life. Utilize all the so another thing you like we had this thing career center in our university,
mm,
like it was always empty. Like whenever I went there, like nobody was utilizing it, but that was I felt it was really good. Like the counselor there, like they took my mock interviews, they told me how to answer in the interview in star method, and they polished my I feel the my whole interview experience. So I feel you have all these resources, just give you 100%, you will end up in a good opportunity.
nice, love it. Obviously you had internship and then you were able to extend that internship, or at least they loved you so much they're like, hey, we want you more. So Colorado State University does allow you to do co-ops.
Yes, but there's a small caveat there.
Yes.
So it's unfortunately they're not like I would say flexible with the internships. So like when I did summer internship, summer 23 internship, and at the end of summer, my team gave me extension. Okay, if you wanna continue to the fall co-op, you can do that. But then my university rejected that offer, saying that. They had a rule that if you have the remaining number of credits, so after first 2 semester I completed I think around 17 credits and I had 15 left for next 2 semester basically. So Colorado State University has a rule that your remaining number of credits as an international student has to be less than 3 to do a full-time co-op,
Mm,
and you can do only like the remote co-op if not 20 hours a week, that too.
okay, so there
Yeah.
there were some limitations, yeah.
So that's why I had to come back to university for the fall whole semester, and I convinced my team to instead of the fall semester give me the spring co-op, and they thankfully agreed. So I came after summer. I came back to fall to Colorado, did the whole fall semester, and for spring I again moved back to San Jose.
Amazing. Great. Okay. And then let's talk about full time as well.
Yeah.
Keeping the same batch size, 25 to 30 people, how many, again, I know the market was bad. What do you think the percentage wise? Like, did everyone end up getting a job before graduating, or it's like, what's the number look like?
Unfortunately, it's the same as internship. Like hardly 5 to 6 people still got the job. Others
Mm,
are still looking.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. Um, any now that you have like gone through this entire journey, looking back, what would you want to like advise these upcoming students like who are planning to come to Colorado State University? Like, Here's what I would do if I were doing this all over again.
Okay, so I feel again what we started with, the same thing, that see what is your niche, where you want to go, and what's your perfect fit. Again, just like I see people coming to US just because, oh, I didn't get any good job in India, Indian market is bad now, that's why I'll come to US. But
Mm,
that's not going to be the case, that you just land here and everybody will hand you a job. So
mm,
you have to have go through the whole struggle again. So be mentally prepared for it. Like you have to do all your chores yourself, and you'll be away from your loved ones here in US. So the like be mentally prepared for all these things. Specifically talking about Colorado State University, I personally feel like the coursework is more towards embedded side lean, the electrical engineering coursework. So uh, if I would have known while doing the undergrad that okay, I want to do in chip designing, I might not choose that, because the courseworks for the chip designing are comparatively less than the embedded ones. So I would have chose any other university who has like more coursework in this thing. So yeah, these were the only things, major things. So
nice. And of course, we've already touched on making the best use of every single resources available and not sitting in your room and getting out and doing fun things as well. So Colorado has, is it called Smoky Mountain? Did you go to that?
Rocky Mountain.
Rocky Mountain, sorry,
Yeah,
not Smoky.
it was pretty near from Fort Collins. It's like 30 minutes drive from Fort Collins, and it that like that was also like a an we can't call it the real advantage, but it was a very beautiful town. Like it used
Mm.
to snow a lot, but it's surrounded by mountains, and it's a very scenic place to be.
Yes, I just pulled up. I'm gonna share my screen for people to see what it looks like. So this is. Do you
Yes,
remember this?
yeah, that's our rec center.
Nice. It looks pretty. So I
This is the
this
whole place is surrounded by mountains, and it's always greenery throughout the summer, and it's a pretty nice place
is
to
it
be.
very hot? Is it very cold?
Yeah, in winters it goes pretty down. Like on an average, it's
This
around.
is like Manali, like
Yeah, it is. That's pretty Manali place.
है ना?
Yes,
Yeah.
there was a lake called Horsetooth Reservoir. If you can pull that up, that was right next to
This
university.
one?
No, this was Horseshoe. Sorry, Horsetooth Reservoir. Uh,
Horse.
Tooth.
Can you spell it?
Tooth. Tooth. Horsetooth.
Oh, nice.
It was like less than 5 minutes drive from the university campus, and this place is very pretty.
I should visit this place. Someone should invite me from Colorado State University.
That's a beautiful place to be.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yes,
I'm
very.
assuming there's no Indian grocery stores and all of that.
There is one.
Oh,
Uh,
there is one.
yeah, just because of the college students.
Acha, okay, interesting.
Very small. There's one Indian restaurant, one grocery store right like attached to the Indian restaurant. You can go through the restaurant.
Okay, okay, nice. And then
And just
if
all
you
for
need to do more fun stuff, do you just go to Boulder?
yeah, Boulder, Denver was nearby. Denver was like around 35 miles from there. So if we want to do anything fun, then Denver was the place.
Would you rent like zip car or what?
Yeah, Zipcar. We had thankfully the Zipcar station was in my parking lot, in the university parking lot. So it was just like walking up to your car. It was like that close.
Nice.
So yeah, Zipcar. And then as I was working as TA, that was another perk. I could qualify as a university employee. So I had university employee code as well. So that with that I could rent through enterprise or something for like multiple days.
Oh, nice.
For the
Amazing. Perks of being a TA. Nice. Cool. All right. Would you recommend Colorado State to others?
Yeah, definitely. If you are planning for coming to for embedded systems, or the Colorado States is the MIS information system, that is also very famous. So if you're planning for that, like there's no like this is a really good university. You should consider that. There are plenty of on-campus jobs. There are
Especially
plenty
if
of
you're someone in embedded versus the chip design, because
yes.
like you said, chip design might be better for some other universities.
Yes, yes. For like, there are plenty of opportunities for TAs and RAs
Hmm.
in all the departments throughout. So I feel it's, yeah, you should definitely consider this.
Nice. Awesome. Thank you, Prathamesh. This was amazing. Again, I know it's like an hour long conversation, but enjoyed talking to you. I can't wait to bring you back, and maybe next time I will be in AMD with you, doing some fun stuff over there. But until our next one, yes, until our next one.
Keep smiling, keep hustling.
Nice.